Welcome to Soul Stories. These are original stories woven from symbol, imagination, and the quiet wisdom of the soul. Every story begins with a single image. It asks for nothing except your presence. There is no message to discover, no puzzle to solve. Simply allow the story to find its own place within you. Today's story, The Bird Who Forgot Its Song. May it meet you exactly where you are. Long ago, there was a forest where every bird carried its own song. Some greeted the morning with bright, joyful notes that danced through the trees. Others sang softly at dusk, their melodies settling over the hills like evening mist. There were songs that welcomed rain, songs that celebrated springs, and songs so gentle they could only be heard when the wind became still. No two songs were ever the same. At the edge of the forest, beneath the branches of an old ash tree, a small bird hatched at the first light touched the sky. Each morning it listened. The robin's cheerful call, the blackbird's rich melody, the wren's quick laughter, the soaring cry of hawks high above the valley. The little bird admired them all. "I wish my songs were as beautiful as theirs," it often whispered. So it practiced. It learnt the robin's tune, then the blackbird's, then the lark's. The forest marvelled. What a clever bird! The little bird smiled. Yet every evening, when the forest grew quiet, its heart felt strangely empty. Years passed. The bird travelled far beyond the forest. It crossed rivers where cranes sang to the mist. It rested beside oceans where gulls called to the tides. It climbed mountains where eagles greeted the dawn. Wherever it went, it borrowed another song. Every voice was beautiful, though none of them felt like home. One autumn evening, tired from wandering, the bird landed beside a small lake, hidden deep within the forest it had once left behind. The water lay perfectly still. No breeze stirred, no bird sang. The silence was so complete that even the leaves seemed to be listening. The little bird waited. For the first time in many years, it made no effort to sing. As the last light faded, a single note rose across the water. The bird looked around. There was no one there. The note came again. Soft, clear, gentle. It seemed to rise from the silence itself. The bird listened carefully. Then, without thinking, it answered. One quiet note. Then another. Not the robin's song, not the blackbird's, nor was it the eagle's. A song it had never heard before. Yet somehow, it had always known it. The melody was simple, carried no flourish. It asked for no applause. It belonged to no one else. As the bird sang, the forest its very self became still. Not because the song was louder than the others. It was because it was true. The old ash tree seemed to breathe more deeply. The lake caught every note upon its surface. Even the stars appeared, one by one, as though they had been waiting for this forgotten melody to return. When dawn arrived, the other birds gathered among the branches. "Teach us that song," they asked. The little bird smiled. No, I cannot." "Well, why not?" "It was never mine to teach." The other birds tilted their heads. It can only be discovered. From that day forward, the little bird never borrowed another melody. Some days its songs were joyful, some days quiet. Some mornings it was little more than a whisper carried on the breeze. It no longer mattered. The forest had every kind of voice it needed. And whenever a young bird worried that its song was too small or too ordinary or too different from all the others, the little bird would simply lead it to the quiet lake. There they would sit together until the wind rested, until the water became still, until silence remembered what the little bird had forgotten. And it is said that every soul carries a song that cannot be borrowed, copied, or perfected. It can only be heard when we become quiet enough to recognize it. Here's a soul invitation. Perhaps one image has remained with you. Maybe the little tree, maybe the old ash tree, the quiet lake, the listening forest. Stay with that image for a while. Let it have its voice and time with you. And if you feel drawn, give it a place through creative expression. Bring it into being. Sketch it, maybe write a few lines. Paint its colours. Walk amongst trees and listen for the spaces between the sounds. Or simply sit in silence for a few moments. You may like to carry these questions with you. What song in my life have I been trying to imitate? When have I felt most truly myself? What quiet melody is waiting to be heard? There is no need to search for answers. Simply remain with the image, with the feeling, with the emotion. Sometimes the soul does not ask us to sing louder. It simply invites us to sing our own song. To sing our own song. Thank you for sharing the soul story. May the story continue within you. May the story continue within you.